Forgive.
Let it go. The things that have happened in the past, the things that aren't happening right now, let it go. If you want to be free, stop locking yourself into the prison of your past. If you want to see the light, stop holding yourself in the darkness of your past. If you really want to move on, release the heavy weight from your back. If you don't want them to win, let it go. Move on and create your best life. You would never allow a thief to enter your home and live there rent-free. So why do you allow thoughts that steal your joy to enter and live inside your mind? Let it go. Had a moment of confrontation? Let it go. Don't allow it to live in your mind, stealing the joy from the rest of your day. Someone did you wrong? Let it go. They will ruin more of your life if you allow them to invade your mind like a virus, which will only affect the quality of your life in every other area. The best revenge is always moving on, letting go. Showing your ego is brave enough to let go. Showing you are strong enough to enjoy your life, to live your life fully, regardless of what happens or who isn't doing the right thing by you. Let them have their accidents somewhere else. Life hasn't gone as planned. It doesn't for anyone. Move on. Focus on the good. Those who live amazing lives haven't gotten lucky. When things don't work out, they move on quickly and focus on the next positive. They drop the negative like a hot potato and focus on what they can do today to get in a better state. They don't seek sympathy from family and friends. They focus on what is good in their life and let go of the negatives. Don't cheat on your future with your past. It's over. Commit to your future and it will be a strong, healthy one. If you don't let go of your past, your future will suffer. Understand this very important fact. You are the one who suffers most when you hold on to resentments, when you seek revenge. You are the one who wins when you do let go. Richard Carson once said, "The key to a good life is this. If you're not going to talk about something during the last hour of your life, don't make it a top priority during your lifetime." Maybe we should all take that advice. Your ego will tell you, once everything is perfect, then I'll be happy. But your soul knows the truth. Be happy, then everything is perfect. No, life circumstances won't be perfect. But if you can get into the right space, you can then get to the understanding that everything happens for a reason and be at peace with that. So be happy. Do whatever it takes to find your happy. Not because everything is good, but because you see the good in everything. Not because every circumstance is a miracle, but because you see the miracle in life itself. Albert Einstein once said, "There's only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is." I know which space I want to live in. What about you?
Forgive.
Let it go. The things that have happened in the past, the things that aren't happening right now, let it go. If you want to be free, stop locking yourself into the prison of your past. If you want to see the light, stop holding yourself in the darkness of your past. If you really want to move on, release the heavy weight from your back. If you don't want them to win, let it go. Move on and create your best life. You would never allow a thief to enter your home and live there rent-free. So why do you allow thoughts that steal your joy to enter and live inside your mind? Let it go. Had a moment of confrontation? Let it go. Don't allow it to live in your mind, stealing the joy from the rest of your day. Someone did you wrong? Let it go. They will ruin more of your life if you allow them to invade your mind like a virus, which will only affect the quality of your life in every other area. The best revenge is always moving on, letting go. Showing your ego is brave enough to let go. Showing you are strong enough to enjoy your life, to live your life fully, regardless of what happens or who isn't doing the right thing by you. Let them have their accidents somewhere else. Life hasn't gone as planned. It doesn't for anyone. Move on. Focus on the good. Those who live amazing lives haven't gotten lucky. When things don't work out, they move on quickly and focus on the next positive. They drop the negative like a hot potato and focus on what they can do today to get in a better state. They don't seek sympathy from family and friends. They focus on what is good in their life and let go of the negatives. Don't cheat on your future with your past. It's over. Commit to your future and it will be a strong, healthy one. If you don't let go of your past, your future will suffer. Understand this very important fact. You are the one who suffers most when you hold on to resentments, when you seek revenge. You are the one who wins when you do let go. Richard Carson once said, "The key to a good life is this. If you're not going to talk about something during the last hour of your life, don't make it a top priority during your lifetime." Maybe we should all take that advice. Your ego will tell you, once everything is perfect, then I'll be happy. But your soul knows the truth. Be happy, then everything is perfect. No, life circumstances won't be perfect. But if you can get into the right space, you can then get to the understanding that everything happens for a reason and be at peace with that. So be happy. Do whatever it takes to find your happy. Not because everything is good, but because you see the good in everything. Not because every circumstance is a miracle, but because you see the miracle in life itself. Albert Einstein once said, "There's only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is." I know which space I want to live in. What about you?
Forgive.
Let it go. The things that have happened in the past, the things that aren't happening right now, let it go. If you want to be free, stop locking yourself into the prison of your past. If you want to see the light, stop holding yourself in the darkness of your past. If you really want to move on, release the heavy weight from your back. If you don't want them to win, let it go. Move on and create your best life. You would never allow a thief to enter your home and live there rent-free. So why do you allow thoughts that steal your joy to enter and live inside your mind? Let it go. Had a moment of confrontation? Let it go. Don't allow it to live in your mind, stealing the joy from the rest of your day. Someone did you wrong? Let it go. They will ruin more of your life if you allow them to invade your mind like a virus, which will only affect the quality of your life in every other area.
It is time. It is here. It's official. Man, it's Sunday night at 7, so y'all know what time it is. Man, it's the Power Podcast, man. And I got a treat for you guys today. Listen, guys, listen. We are officially in Freedom February. Okay, it's here. It's just about over, but it's not over with yet. Okay, it's not over with yet. We still got some time here, and so because we still got some time, man, I just figured that that we need to deal with some things, man, and I got the treat for you because listen, man, I'm going to be a student on this show. Okay, I'm going to be a student because what you have to recognize is sometimes you teach, and then sometimes you got to be taught. Okay, and when I was preparing for this show, what I want you to do, and because I'm going to do it, I'm going to be taking notes. So because see this right here, this what we about to do tonight. This is going to set you free, not just for February, not just for the 2023, but we're talking about some life changing things. Listen, this is what I've been in prayer about. My sister Vicky and I earlier on the end of January, going into February, we said, you know what, we're gonna have to do some things and make some things shift. And we declared and we decreed that this was going to be Freedom February. And what I want you to understand is that we're not just taking this month and saying that if it's going to be done this month, then it's over with. No, what we're saying is that, man, this is going to be an ongoing effort, man, because see, these things are stopping you. There's some things that are stopping you from being the best you can be. So I have a special guest. So I said I was gonna do my talking, up front, okay? Because from this point on, man, I'm just gonna be taking notes. I hope you will too. Before I bring her on, okay, what I want you to do is to make sure that you share this out. Listen, it costs you nothing to do that, okay? It costs you nothing to do it, and you may be the connecting point for somebody's breakthrough. Can we say amen to that?
Amen.
Amen, amen. So without further ado, I'm just gonna call. I'm just see. I call her KD. Y'all may know her as different things, but I'm gonna bring her on. And welcome, Miss KD. How
Yes,
you
sir.
feeling?
I am good. How are you?
Man, I am doing great. This right here has been in my heart. Ever since we talked and you agreed to come on, man. I have just totally been excited about this thing. And what I want you to do, because I'm not gonna be able to do it justice. Okay, what I want to do, I want you to introduce yourself and just come in your own way, and we're going to I mean, it's going to be a blessing, but we're definitely going to bless the people today.
Okay. So thank you for having me. I am so excited anytime that I can, like you said, help free people. That's one of my favorite words is freeing the people. My name is Katisha Reed. I go by KD, and I am a therapist here in Alabama. I am also the founder of a new movement I'm starting called Mirror Moments Mental Health. And what that is I'm seeking to be the bridge between the mental health community and the faith-based community.
Wow.
But so often there are a lot of gaps, and a lot of people not being properly treated because we're not being properly educated. Um, and I just want to let people know that it's not against God to be educated about mental health or to get treatment about mental health. So I'm super excited about that. I've been a therapist for 15 years.
Mm.
So I've served in different capacities and worked with a lot of different people. And so I am excited because I do believe that education is the key to freedom.
Education is the key to freedom.
Okay.
And this is why, Vic, I see that you're on, and I'm gonna send you a link, because if you can come on, I would love for you to have you on. um so can we just go? Listen, I'm so excited. I don't I Only thing I want to do is jump into this thing. What I did, I have a focus group, and whenever I prepare for a show, I say, well, hey, this is the type show I'm doing. This is what we're going to be talking about. What is it that that you want to know? Okay. And so what I do, sometimes there's a whole bunch of questions and I kind of just shift through them. Okay. So I got a list of questions that from this group that I just want to ask you. Okay. And then, and from there, we'll just talk. Is that good?
That's perfect.
Man, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so so tell me what is a trauma bond?
Okay, so the simplest way to explain what a trauma bond is, it's where you have this strong desire to receive connection from someone, but unfortunately you're receiving this connection from the same person causing you the pain. And so a trauma bond, it can seem like it's the same as codependency, but it's not. So codependency, like if we were in a relationship and say we met at a club and we were drinking and smoking, right?
Okay.
So then we're both drinking and smoking, and it's hard for me to stop because you still do it. And so we're codependent. You're going to be encouraging me like, hey, or you're going to be discouraging me from, why do you want to stop? This is fun. This is exciting. That's what codependency is. A trauma bond means that the love we have, I also am hurt by you, but I'm also strongly connected to you. It's one of those things where people say, I really want to let him go, but I can't. I really want to let her go, but I can't. And physically, and somewhere in the brain, it is really hard for them to let that person go.
Wow. So now, so when we look at a trauma bond, now we're talking about is it a diagnosed, from a, professional community? Okay, this is your diagnosis, or what? I may be using the wrong word, but
no, you're right. It's not a formal diagnosis, right?
Okay,
but it is. How can I explain it? It can be your therapist can tell you if you're in a trauma bond.
Okay,
but it's not like a formal diagnosis. We won't say that you have been diagnosed with having a trauma bond. It's one of those things we'll just bring to your attention. Hey, or a lot of times, what happens? People will come to us and say, this is what's going on. And my friends and family don't understand why I can't leave him alone. And heck, sometimes I don't understand why I can't leave him alone. And as we begin to explore their experiences, then we may say, hey, this is a trauma bond.
Okay.
Once you know that, it's easier to understand certain things. It's kind of like in the faith-based community when we say you have a soul tie.
Right. I got you.
Once you know that, a lot of different things start to make more sense to you.
Okay. So, and I know you want to be you're going to be the bridge, that connecting point, from the faith-based, to that, to the other side, connecting the two sides. Are they in conflict with each other, or is just a separation where they need to be connected?
Both. I would say
okay.
Both. Yeah, and the reason, the reason I decided I wanted to do that was two things. One, because I'm a member of both communities, and I remember struggling with my mental health, being on a complete downward spiral, and no one said anything to me. It was just, I felt ashamed to say something. Number one, because I was a therapist, and number two, because I was a Christian. I felt like people would say, if God can do everything and anything, why are you struggling this way? Right.
Wow.
But then I also have worked with people who have gone to their leadership for help, and their leaders have said things such as, you're not depressed. It's just your faith isn't strong enough, or you don't have anxiety. You're just not trusting God enough. And I don't believe that there's always one answer, because depression can be a chemical imbalance. And so what I want people to know is your mental health is not always tied to your lack of faith in God. Because if you're already down, Eric, and I say to you, this is brought on because you don't have a strong enough faith in God, what is that going to do to you?
Man, that's going to make me question myself. It's going to make me question my faith. It's going to, I'm going to start thinking, that I have to, I'm going to have to do more. And really, as a faith-based person, I'll be in conflict automatic because, if I'm feeling inadequate in my faith, then it's like, well, how can I actually do more when God said, I have done it all?
Exactly.
you know. So
Exactly.
I'm already in conflict. Yeah.
Already in conflict. And then sometimes when certain mental illnesses affect you, it
Mm-hmm.
is physically impossible or near impossible for you to do things, right? So like some people deal with depression and they are literally in bed for days. Or it takes all of their energy to get up and brush their teeth, like small things like that. So if I'm already struggling like that and you're coming to me and saying this is my fault because my faith is not strong enough, then like you said, there within lies that internal conflict.
Mm-hmm. That eternal conflicts. Now,
Mhm.
so we're talking about you know, and the title of the show was how to move, how to heal and move on. You
Yeah.
know, and I know that when um one of the things y- that we're dealing with right now, because I want to deal with what I see, as far as social media,
Yeah.
as far as
Ooh, social media is
current event, and I think that we actually connected. I believe the first time we connected was at a conference. I think it was at Vicky's conference. But okay, I
I
believe that
love
was.
Miss Vicky. You know, I'm an honorary Kirk sibling.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, shout out to Vicky Kirk made. Listen, you have made a lot of connections and done a lot of things on both sides of the realm. So, big ups to her.
Yeah,
She's my sister slash my mentor. So I got to give it up to her.
she's
You
amazing.
know, but so on social media, we hear, we hear a lot about trauma bonds, but another things that we hear about is this is a toxic relationship. One of the things that I would always say is that, you know, man, do that person, I will say or ask the question, like, do that person really know that they are in a toxic relationship, or is that something that people on the outside would say, okay, I'm looking at them and man, that's a toxic relationship. What do the medical community say about toxic relationships?
So it's one of those things where it's a real thing, right? And people on the
Okay.
outside can see it. And sometimes people on the inside know it. What I've seen with social media lately is they're overusing it. And it's almost like it's cute.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like it's a badge of honor to say we're in a toxic relationship. Um, there was another phrase that was, I can't remember it now, but it was around a couple of years ago, and people would use it and overuse it and overuse it. And what I hear when people come to me is, hey, I don't think people really understand what this means. When you
Mm-hmm.
have a woman who is in an abusive relationship, right, and she's trying her best to leave, and it's that whole back and forth, that whole trauma bond thing, the whole cycle, and they see people online saying things like, "Oh, this is me and babe, we in a toxic relationship," like that's almost like people making fun of them, or it's almost like
Mm,
a slap in the face.
absolutely.
Because if she could leave and fight every urge in her body to go back, she would.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things that I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Like I'm a student. Okay. So I promise you, I need help. Lord, I lift my hands to thee. No, listen, I need help because see what I'm wondering, do the overuse of the words like um you know toxic relationship, trauma bond, all these man, the master word narcissist, do that hinder the professionals, because everybody, I mean, really and truly, today everybody's a narcissist,
Yep.
if you let social media tell you so.
Yes. So I think it does hinder. And the other word I was thinking of was a while back, girls. Mainly I saw girls. I don't know if it was girls and guys. They thought it was cute to be labeled as or let other people label them as bipolar. That was the
Mm,
word that was, floating
my
around.
my
I'm
my.
bipolar, or I got mood swings, I'm bipolar. And so yes, it does hinder people because when people another way it hinders treatment sometimes is people will come in and they will say, hey, I feel like I'm a narcissist.
Okay.
And so the way a diagnosis works is there is this huge book that we have, right? It's like our little Bible, for lack of a better word. It's the DSM. in order to get a diagnosis, you have to meet like 5 or 6, just say for narcissists, I think it's 5 out of 9 criteria. So
Okay.
people will just look up, am I a narcissist, or is my mom a narcissist, or something like that, and they may see the criteria, right? They may
Right.
see 2 things or 3 things, and then all of a sudden their mom is a narcissist or they're a narcissist. And so if you yourself are struggling with, I feel like something is wrong with me, but I don't know what, or I'm having a hard time in my relationships or my friendships, and you Google this or someone blurts out you're a narcissist, that's a heavy burden on you. Because now,
Wow.
as your therapist, I have to then, it's like court, because now I got to prove to you that you're not this, that
Right.
some things in life are just normal. Your mom may not have been a narcissist. She may have been. I'm not
Right.
saying that, but she may not have been. She may have just um, thought highly of herself, or she may have just, not handled certain situations correctly. But it doesn't always go straight to a diagnosis. So I ask people, why is it so important to you to have a label?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so important to have a label? But
That's good.
I can also see the flip side, which I think is the gift God gave me in this profession. So I can see both sides. I
Right.
can see the other side. I can see the child who grew up with this mom or this person in this relationship who has been feeling crazy, like just been feeling like something is wrong. And then they read about narcissists and they feel so seen,
Right.
feel so heard, like this is my story. This is what was going on my entire childhood. I get that side as well. So sometimes the overuse of these words can have a positive effect in that if it makes one person feel like this is what was going on for 15, 20, 30 years, I have felt crazy, but this is exactly what I was experiencing. And sometimes it has that effect on the world.
Wow. Listen, man, this is so good. I'm gonna ask you guys to do something for me right quick. This information is so valuable. It is so needed. If you will, just take a moment, okay, and share this out. Tag some people. Tag a narcissist. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just kidding. I'm really kidding. But if you got one, they really can get help right now. Uh, hey, thanks Tamika for doing that. And we have 6 people that's viewing. It's probably more than that because my numbers are always different when I stop. But we showing 6, and I believe it should be a minimum of 600, maybe even 6,000. But it's only going to get there when you guys go ahead and share this out and you do it. Definitely let me know, like Tamika did, and let us know that you're seeing this as something valuable. Okay, so I know we talked about the narcissist, but can you go a little deeper and you know um explain to me the narcissist, and why is that everybody is a narcissist these days?
I think so. I pulled up the requirements. Let me get them. And I think that when people hear the requirements and they feel like, oh, I know someone who that pertains to. I know someone who that is. So let me hold on.
Why you do that? Shout out to Mika. She tagged Candace, and it was it Candace, Diamond, Candace, Harmony, uh, River. These are probably first and last names. So anyway, she tagged some people, and we definitely appreciate that.
So according to the DSM, right, one of the criteria is you have to have 5 of the following 9. So when I read these 9, you'll hear how common some of the things are. And
Okay.
some people, when I say it, you may be like, oh, that was so and so. That's so and so. That's so
Mm,
and so. And you'll understand how it's so easy to be overused. So
okay.
a narcissist has a grandiose sense of self importance. That means they think highly of themselves than they really are.
Okay.
That's
So let's stop right
a lot
there.
of people on social media.
Okay, we're gonna look at these. We got time. Okay, grandiose. I think highly of myself.
Yeah.
So when I hear something like that, I think that so it's the opposite. And I know where you're gonna go. I know what you're gonna say, but just for the sake of conversation,
Yeah.
um, so in order to be a not to be a narcissist, I should think lowly of myself.
Not necessarily lowly. So like um a narcissist would think that they may think grandiose of themselves in a way that's not necessarily true. You
Okay,
know,
that
they may,
makes a difference.
yeah, yeah, they
Yeah,
may feel like, just say if we're both salesmen, right? I may feel like I am the best. I can only be the best. No one can be better than me. Like if you want the best, you gotta hire me. And to some extent, you gotta think like that in some ways. So that's what I'm saying. It's really hard when people start to overuse these words based off of one criteria.
I started laughing because I came from a retail background, retail manager. Only had one job my whole life. Only filled out one application my whole life, and it was in sales. And I promise you, man, those were the people that I was looking for. Those ones who had that type of cockiness. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Because I had it myself. I felt like I was when it came to sales. It was like no one can touch me. So I was a
You have to
narcissist.
think that way, especially as entrepreneurs or to get through some hard jobs to make money and commission based. You got to think that way. That's why you can't diagnose somebody off of one thing.
That's right. That's right. So number two. What's number two?
Number two is a preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, unlimited power, brilliance, beauty, or idealized love.
Wow. And I think the key word is that preoccupation or key
Yes.
words is because you are so how would that preoccupation show up?
Everything has to be about them.
Okay.
Everything has to be about them. They don't have space to think about or consider other people. Everything
Mm,
is everything is about them. So like say if you're the sales manager, right, your goal is I want everybody to be good, right? I need
right.
all y'all to be making a narcissist doesn't have that capacity. It's about
Man, that's good. Y'all, man, that is so good.
yeah,
That's so good. Because in that whole in that scenario, see, I'm thinking. I told you I was a
yeah,
student, and I'm taking notes because see what you told me is that if I if I felt cocky and assure myself, that's one thing.
right.
Okay, and and Vicky wants you to repeat that. So hold that thought. Okay,
Okay.
if I felt that way, on one side, that's hey man, I'm very sure, I'm very confident. Okay,
Yes.
but if I have a sales team, okay, and I'm only concerned about me winning and not my sales team, then that's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a
Okay.
problem. So
Oh,
that's why one criteria cannot lead to a diagnosis because they don't have the capacity to think about anybody else. They
hey,
don't have the capacity. They don't even have the desire to think about anybody else.
guys, listen, that was a good note right there. That was a good nugget. Okay. Candace said, thank you, Tamika.
Oh, hi, Candace. Hi,
Teach
Tamika.
it was Tanisha. I'm horrible with names. She said, teach him, KD, man, and she is ready. I knew she was gonna be ready. And and listen, man, I'm telling you, guys, definitely share this out because man, you can do the replay, yeah, but it's nothing like catching it live. So that was two. What's the third one?
All right. So the third one is a need for excessive admiration. So not only do I think I'm the best, I need you to know I'm the best, and I need you to constantly feed that to me.
I'm asking you in some form to reaffirm that I'm the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, this is good. This is good. Now, guys, these are 9 criterias, and and KD is going through all 9 of them, and you have now the typical narcissist, because I need to make sure I'm right, is going to hit any 5 of the 9.
5 out of 9.
5 out of 9.
And then
Okay,
there's other criteria like over a certain number of time and all those, but with the specific qualities, they need to have 5 out of 9 consistently.
5 out of
And
9 consistency.
This is why we can't throw that word around because there are people in relationships with these people, like really in relationships, and they need to be able to say, "I'm in a relationship with a narcissist," and they
Right.
need people to take them serious and not just be like, "Oh no," because the most damaging thing a narcissist does is they slowly and quietly diminish your reputation by saying things like say if I was at dinner right now, I would go to your wife and be like, I'm really worried about so and so.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm talking to you and if I'm the narcissist and my husband's in a relationship with me, I'm gonna diminish quietly his reputation by saying, y'all, I'm really worried about Rudolph. Like he's been having these, these mental episodes and I just don't know what's wrong. And, I'm just really concerned. So by the time I break that down and have you thinking, well, is he okay? Or I'll be on the lookout. When he comes to you for help, you've already got the seed in your mind that something's not right with him.
My Lord.
So then you're going to say, well, Katisha, she's not like that, Rudolph. She came to me the other day and she was concerned about you.
Right.
So why would you say these things about her? She's concerned about you.
Wow. So that's part of the plan.
Yes.
Because at that point I'm elevating myself up, but I have to knock somebody else down in order to do it.
Yeah. And that goes to this fourth criteria, right?
Okay.
The fourth criteria is I have the belief that I'm special and unique, and my belief is that I can only be understood and I should only associate with people who are also special and unique. So if my husband is coming to me and say, hey, we need to talk, and I'm like, you don't understand me because you're not on my level. Of course you would have a problem with the way I act in this relationship because you're not at the level that I am on.
Absolutely.
Right? So again, that's putting you down.
That's putting you down. That's dismissing you. And this is the damage that, living with a narcissist can have, because now, so if you're in a relationship,
yes,
now all of a sudden, I'm devalued.
Yes.
I'm not being heard. And I promised to live the rest of my life with this guy or this girl.
Now put two and two together, right? I'm putting you down, but remember, we have a trauma bond, so you have a strong admiration towards me.
Wow.
So if the person you love is putting you down, then who's going to value you? And Candace came up with a good point. This is not just in romantic relationships. Right. Even more damaging, this is in parental and child relationships.
Right. And I could be wrong, and we can deal with this too, because I definitely want to go. We on number 4. We got 5 more to go. Are narcissists born through the parental relationship, or could they be born in other ways as well?
That is in the field, right? In our field, that is the ongoing thing. That's the constant question, because so we have a lot of research that shows it is a narcissist is created through like abuse from their parent or feeling like neglect. So then that neglect leads to them needing to control other people.
Okay.
That abuse leads to them saying, I'm going to now be the one in charge. So that's a constant question. That's a constant question.
Wow.
They have shown that there are traits you can look for in children, to see.
Okay. Yeah. Man, that's good. Candace said that's a good question. Thanks, because that's probably the only one I have, Candace. So if y'all have any questions, she said also that's good insight, which it definitely is. If y'all have any questions for KD, y'all definitely put it in the chat and we'll deal with that too. So we are on number 5, right?
So number 5 is they have a sense of entitlement.
Yes.
So, that can apply to a lot of people. Depending on the situation, that can apply to me.
Right. I mean, and I know, because even if you deal with this faith-based side of the equation, then is it not taught to us that we should be entitled? We are, you are the head and not the tail. Hey, this is your birthright.
That's right.
Jesus paid the cost.
Yeah.
So the if we even went that way, a person could feel entitled just strictly because of how deep is their faith.
Yep. That's why you need more than one criteria.
That's why you need more than one criteria. Okay. Letitia Battle. I know Battle. I hope I'm saying your name right. She
That's right.
said, did I say it right? Okay. I have a weird question. Can a narcissist not be able to delegate?
Yes, that is
Wow.
true. I won't say for all because I don't like using all and never and those kind of words, but I would say for, in my personal experience and other people, other clients I've had that have told me who have worked with narcissists or know narcissists in positions, it is hard for them to delegate because remember they don't feel like there's a lot of people on their level. So even if
Man.
they do delegate, they may say things like, "Hey, Letitia, can you do this? If you can figure it out," or but it'll be
Mm.
in a condescending kind of way. Or if you ask them a question, they might say, "You know what? I didn't even expect for you to know this, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish it."
Are they doing that because at some level they gonna when the project is finished and it's a success, they want to have all of the accolades,
Yep.
or yeah, man, this I told y'all this was gonna be. Listen, guys, this is Freedom February. Uh, this is where we're gonna take a moment, okay, and we're going to just deal with these certain issues. We want to be free on so many in so many areas, but
Yes.
right now we're what I want to do. I want the reason why I have my expert on here is because I want you free. I want you mentally free. I
Amen.
want I want you free in your relationships. The title of this show is how to heal and move on. We're talking about these triggers like trauma bond and toxic relationships, and we're talking about narcissists right now because I want you to be able to recognize and see what you're dealing with. See, I'm an old guy. I'm an old GI Joe, guy, and at the end of GI Joe, they always ended the show with this phrase, and and they'll say something like, "And now you know, and knowing is half the battle." And see,
Mhm.
what I believe is that once we get this information tonight, man, you got half the battle already won. Man, this is what Freedom February is all about. Okay, so we're on number 6.
All right, number 6. Interpersonally explosive behavior. So that
Mm,
would be blowing up, but then I blame it on you.
wow.
I'm of high status, remember, so I didn't lose my cool unless you caused me to lose it. Why did you
Yeah.
do that and make me yell at you? Why did you do that and cause me to be this way?
Yeah.
Why did you ask me this question in public? And now so and so is going to think that I'm married to a dummy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's all your fault.
That's
It's
all.
all your fault.
Yeah,
I hit you, but you should be apologizing
that's right.
because you made me hit you.
That's right.
My,
Yep. Why can't
my,
you
my,
control
my.
yourself? And so then I wouldn't have to hit you.
And see what I'm seeing, and it's very sad because see somebody that's really living with this narcissist, they are sitting there saying, man, they are truly trapped. Okay, they are trapped. They feeling hopeless,
Yeah.
and they're saying, man, everything that I do is wrong, and the reason why I wanted to deal with this conversation is because, see, I had this thought of the boy that cried wolf, and if
Mm,
if y'all don't know the story, it's real simple. A boy went around saying a wolf is coming, a wolf is coming, and he lied about it, and then and now nobody believed the wolf is coming, and guess what, guys? The wolf actually came,
yeah.
but nobody believed him because he lied. And I believe, when I hear that, and I don't know if they were really talking about a narcissist, but I can make a post and listen, I can make a post, and my post can be whatever. It doesn't matter what the post is or comment I make, and then somebody can say, "Oh, you must be a narcissist,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Wow, you got all of that from a post that I made," you know, and
Yeah.
and 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 my the problem, like on one level, you can say, "Well, it's not going to affect me," but on another level, you could say, "Well, man, man, what is it doing? What is it doing to that person that's really living with a narcissist to where now you'd have made the hell that I'm living in, you
Yep.
made it into a buzzword,
Yeah.
a trigger word.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm afraid of. But man, it's Freedom from February, and we're gonna get free. So we're on number 7, I believe.
All right. A
And
lack of
thank you guys
empathy.
for sharing.
Number 7 is a lack of empathy. So that goes back to they don't have the capacity to care for you. Now, can narcissists get treatments? Again, that's another thing that in the community it's a back and forth about. But on the surface level, they have a lack of empathy. I always ask my clients a lot of times whether they're with a narcissist or just in any relationship. Does the person you are asking this from, whatever you're asking, this change, do they have the capacity to change? Because there's a difference in making the choice not to change and then having the capacity not to change.
Right.
And so they don't have empathy. They don't have that capacity.
Wow, that's good. That is so good, guys. I hope you guys are taking notes. And keep going because this is good stuff.
So this one is an envy of others or a belief that others are envious of them. Most of the time, it's the latter. They believe that other people are jealous of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They believe that people are jealous of them, and
Yeah.
that kind of goes to that whole grandiose,
Yes.
Everything's about me type thing.
Yep.
So even down to and I can see like they're making it up. Like these people aren't jealous of them. They're just thinking that they are.
Right.
And now, so when I hear that, now I'm wondering how does that show up? Because I'm thinking you're jealous, but what is it that you're seeing on the outside of me thinking that you're jealous of me? How does that show up in the world?
So the example that came to mind is if a couple was going out and your wife, if the man was a narcissist and the wife came out dressed nicely, instead of saying you look nice, it's like, why are you trying to outdo me?
Wow.
You just don't want me to get any attention, do you?
Man, come on.
Yeah.
Well, the more I hear this, the sadder I get.
Yeah.
Because man, all I'm thinking about is that person that's really living with the narcissist. And shame on the people that's taking just one or two of these traits and branding somebody. And I'll tell you another thing. If a person had another behavioral disorder, I'm not really sure how to classify this one,
Mm-hmm.
but me being inexperienced, uneducated, I'm gonna call it a behavior disorder, whatever. People normally in the past would look at that disorder and have empathy, because hey, this person has this condition, how sad is that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, another way of saying this is, and when I deal with it, I ask the question, why is it that being a narcissist is the only disorder where people love to attack? If they all are disorders, then why is it this one so easy for everybody to gang up and want to say, you know what, off with his head?
Right. And I think it's because it affects other people.
There it is.
It affects other people. There's a group of disorders and there's different ones, and it affects other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the issue.
Okay.
That's the issue.
And that's exactly where I was at with it, because because if when you really think about it, because it affects me, and this is why I talk out about it, but at the same time, I think it says a whole lot about that person too, that that's going around, okay, and basically, with the assumption that they're not using the technical five, traits to even diagnose,
Yep.
because you're looking at maybe one, maybe two, maybe three, and then you're saying, okay, he or she is a narcissist. But the reason why you're talking out about it is because it hurts you, it hurts your feelings,
Mhm.
and so instead of maybe dealing with the true issue is, now you have taken responsibility off yourself and you put it on to somebody else. Because when I hear stuff like this as a relationship coach, I'm saying, okay, so you're not willing to take a look at yourself and ask yourself, is it possible for me to be part of the problem? It's because it's a whole lot easier for you to say, you know what, nope, he or she is a narcissist.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
Yep. It's easy. It's easy to label people that, and to get people riled up behind it.
Candace said, side note, you look amazing, friend. Now, I'm assuming that you talked about KD. Oh, you did put it in. But, I think I look amazing. I can't say that because I'll be a narcissist if I said, hey, I think I look amazing too. So, hey, just scratch all of that. Vicky says, but most don't when it comes to narcissists. You're exactly right. Um, let's see, I want to get through these comments, and let's see. Candace says, yeah, it's a fresh word right now. It
Yep.
is. It is. It sure is. How? Okay, here's a question. This is for you. How would you suggest the best way to approach a partner who has it, being a narcissist, to help them with it?
Mm. So I don't like to tell my people to do things that I feel aren't emotionally safe.
That's
Um,
good.
and I don't think that trying to help in my personal opinion, I don't think trying to help a narcissist that doesn't want help is safe, because I feel like it would be. I feel like they have to want it. I feel like they have
Right.
to want it, because I just think that that could go so left if you try to force them to get help and they don't necessarily want it, because they may not see that it's a problem.
Right.
So yeah, that would be my advice.
Because I think the last thing that you want to do is confront a narcissist by being a narcissist. Because everything about a true narcissist is going to make him or her retaliate in a
Yes.
sense. Even because I think, and this is just me doing my little research on it. Man, the last thing that he wants is to be exposed as being a narcissist.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight against that. So there has to be a place where I can step back and I can protect myself.
Yeah.
Because I may not be able to help the narcissist, but I can help myself,
Right. Absolutely.
and that's gonna be the key. Because and I'm gonna say this, and I promise you I'm gonna yield to you. But I would say, a lot of times I get accused of, people saying, well, you want me to just stay in a relationship, and no, I never tell anybody to stay in a relationship that's gonna do you, that you feel like you're gonna be harmed in. So
Right.
in this case, what I would say is, the best thing that you can do to help a relationship like that is to remove yourself. Okay. And I believe that act, especially when you're safe, it may be that thing that makes a narcissist say, you know what, I need help.
Mhm.
But in that normal day-to-day life, and you're trying to say, hey, whatever, I think
Yeah.
he's gonna fight back. I think she's gonna fight back on that. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I definitely, like I said, I don't think with anything you can help someone that doesn't want help, but this particularly, I think it would hurt the person who's trying to help them more
It would hurt.
until the
Yes.
person wants the help.
Yes, exactly. And so, man, I gotta ask this question. And man, this time is going. Man, you listen, you're gonna have to come for a part two.
Of
You
course.
listen, you just gonna have to do it, okay? If y'all want KD to come back for a part two, man, y'all just put KD in the comments, man. Let me know y'all want her to come back because we're about out of time and we only halfway through the show. I know we're not gonna be able to do it. But yep, that's it. We all I needed was one to say, yep, that's two. That's it. That's all I needed, man. I needed three. Look at oh man, it is going crazy. It is going crazy, man. Listen. So that is exactly what I needed to hear. KD, listen. Let's come back with a part two
Of
next
course.
week. Okay. Yeah, so y'all heard her. She said yes.
Of
So it's
course.
official.
Of
We'll
course.
be back. We'll be back next Sunday at 7 o'clock, and we're going to finish this thing up. But we got time to finish. Are we on number 7?
We're on the
Or
last one.
on the last one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last one is a demonstration of arrogant and haughty behaviors or attitudes. So that would go back to what Letitia had asked about not being able to delegate, because that
Okay.
would be a behavior issue. They couldn't do it. They wouldn't
Okay.
feel competent that you could do it.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is showing up like where okay, I want to do it. I'm going to do it myself, and then if if some is it a place where he or she'll say, okay, well, if you got to do it, they secretly hoping that you fail, or something like that, or that's too much to add to it.
No, I would say so. I would say so. And then I would also say that even if you did it and you did it correctly, they probably would never tell you.
They're not going to be the guy that's going to say, hey, good job, well
Nope.
done. They are going. It's gonna cause resentment in the narcissist. He's gonna be upset because you did do it,
Right.
and you were
Right.
successful at it. And this is in your leader. This is the guy. This is your sales manager. This is the guy that at the hire was like, okay, man, this is what I'm hiring you for. This is
Yeah.
what I need you to do. And now you want, because listen, relationships comes in all different
Uh,
shapes and
you know
sizes.
what else I just thought about? They would be the person that took credit for you being able to do it.
Yep, that
Yeah.
there
You
it
were able to do
is.
it because at
Yes.
some point they taught you, or at some point they motivated you, or at some point you needed them. It had to be them that pushed you to do it.
Man, so can I say this? Yeah, man, I'm scared to even say it. Uh, is there somebody out there that's getting passed over a promotion because they are working with a narcissist?
Yes.
Did y'all hear that? And you're sitting up there. I told y'all this is Freedom February. Okay. Somebody is wondering, man, I'm doing everything that they asked me to do. And wait a minute. I don't want to be accused of that guy that's crying wolf and saying everybody's a narcissist. Okay. So don't go and say, hey, my boss is a narcissist. Okay. But what I am saying is that there is a possibility that a lot of that some of the problems that you're having is because you are connected with a narcissist.
Yeah. That's
And
why you have to know yourself and know what you bring to the table and know what you do, right? And so that way, even if things don't go your way, it just say in the workforce, if things aren't going your way or going the way you think they should, you know without a shadow of a doubt, it's not you.
absolutely.
It's not
And,
you.
and say that this is what that freedom looks like, guys.
Yeah.
Because you have to be able to recognize, you have to totally fully be persuaded in who you are. And
Hmm.
I've been developing I'm gonna do a video pretty soon. I was gonna do it today, because I've been studying on the difference between true and the truth, and
That's good.
I promise you, listen, y'all call me ignorant or call me, illiterate, but I am really just now getting a good understanding that there is a big difference between what is true and what is the truth.
Yes.
Okay, before like, I'm gonna save all this for another day. But guys, that this is what we're up against. This is why this is so valuable, because you're gonna need to navigate this life, and sometimes you're going to come in contact with a narcissist. Now, in the at the end of part one, we're gonna call this part one. Um, I do want you to kind of tackle, how to move. Now, I'm gonna tell you this: we're going to come back and we're gonna have the same thing that we did today. So, but I do want to deal with, how do we move on? How do we heal?
Mhm.
Okay, so today we talked about the toxic relationship. We talked about the narcissist. Who else we talked about? We talked about the trauma bond.
Yep.
So just based off of well, not just particular them, but just in general,
Mhm.
how do we heal and move on?
So the short answer is you have to admit, you have to ask, and you have to adjust.
Man,
Short answer. Admit, ask, and adjust.
admit, ask, and adjust. Okay, so here's the deal. We're not even gonna. I'm not even gonna ask you to break that down, because what I want to do, I want them to make sure that they come back on next week. And guys, listen. Next week she's gonna break down the admit, the ask, because I'm like yeah, I could get the admit part, but admit, ask, and adjust. Admit, those are A's on it.
They are.
They are the triple A effect. Hey, so listen, if y'all want to know what that the man, if you're serious about healing, okay, because now the theory or the spirit behind moving on when I was developing this, okay, is not just moving on, because hey, I'm the relationship guy. So I'm not saying that moving on means to separate, okay, or moving on means to divorce. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, moving on may simply mean, what do I have to do now in order for me to move on? Okay, what is that? What do I have to do? Because moving on can means that, yeah, we hurt each other right now. Okay, but we need to move on because we got a whole life ahead of ourselves. and
Right.
and you know what, moving on could mean, what, okay, well, my husband or my wife did divorce me, okay, and I'm hurt, but how do we move on from
Mhm.
the divorce? So all of this stuff, and man, we might need a part two, part three, part four, because listen, I want to deal with all of it. Okay. Because what we need to know, and the reason why this is so important to me, is because I see where relationships is stuck because they don't know how to heal
Yeah.
and move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, listen, I'm so blessed right now. Okay, so before you leave to right now, okay, just is there anything that you want to close with? I know you're coming back, but anything you want to close with, any way that they can contact you, for any services, or however you want to close out. I just want to give you these last minutes.
Okay. So I can be found on Facebook under KD Reed, and you can look up my new social media pages under Mirror Moments Mental Health, and that's on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And my closing words would be that just because if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, whether it's work, whether it's home, whether you grew up with one, whatever it is, that does not have to be your story forever. You do not
Mm,
have to be the survivor forever. Like at some point, you can overcome, and this does not have to be a part of your identity forever.
man, that
Even
is
if you're a
good.
narcissist, it doesn't have to be a part of your identity forever.
Man, this is so good, man. I'm so excited about next week. Listen, I before we go, I want to do some housekeeping myself, and let me add this in here. So for those who do not know, my name is Eric Kirk, and I am the author of The Power of Two. And The Power of Two is a best-selling Amazon book. Dealing with marriage and relationships. It is revelations on why, eight revelations on how, and you can purchase this book. I'm gonna put a link in the chat, to where you can go to the website, which is www.thepowerof2x.com. But I will put that link in the website. Okay. So that is all that we have for tonight. You guys make sure that you come back and you get part two, of this 5-part series. No, just I'd have booked your whole month, your whole Sunday. Hey, but guys, until next time, thanks for rolling with us on the Power Podcast. We'll see you next time.
I have got an idea.